Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly a pleasure to have you here with me today. If you're over 60 and you've started to notice weaker erections, slower arousal, or a growing sense of distance in your intimate life, please hear this clearly. It's not just getting older, and it's not your fault. Because what's really happening is something deeper, a biological shift that no one warned you about. After 60, blood vessels to the penis begin to narrow, pelvic circulation slows, nerve sensitivity fades, and silent inflammation builds up over decades of wear. I'm Dr. Michael Smith, a urologist and professor of medicine for over 30 years, and today I'll show you how to fight back naturally. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 pillars of male intimate health after 60, covering everything from blood flow, nerve signaling, hormone metabolism, pelvic muscle tone, and skin integrity, to the 1-2-minute nightly ritual that's helped hundreds of my own patients feel solid, confident, and connected again, often within just a week. This isn't about pills, and it's not about blaming yourself. It's about understanding your body and reclaiming your power with simple, science-based care. So stay with me, because the solution might be far simpler and more natural than you think. Before we begin, if you believe in taking control of your health at any age, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon. You won't want to miss the practical, age-specific health guidance we share here, designed for men who are ready to live fully. Let's start with the first, and perhaps most misunderstood, pillar of penile health. Tip number 1, the use it or lose it principle. Keeping yourself active. I'll never forget a gentleman named Robert, a 68-year-old retired engineer, sharp as a tack, who came into my office with a look of quiet resignation. "Dr. Smith," he said, his voice low, "I suppose my time is up. My sex life is in the rearview mirror." He, like so many men, had silently accepted a myth, the belief that his body was simply shutting down and there was nothing he could do. Here's the strange truth I shared with him. That belief isn't just wrong. It's often the very thing that causes the decline. Your penis, just like your heart or your biceps, is a structure of tissue and blood vessels that relies on regular use to stay healthy. Think of it this way. If you put your arm in a cast for 6 months, what happens when you take it off? The muscle has shrunk. It's weak. The same principle applies here. When there are long periods of inactivity, blood flow to the area decreases. The delicate tissues lose their elasticity. The oxygen supply dwindles. In the medical community, we have a name for this: disuse atrophy. It's a quiet process, almost unnoticeable at first, but it happens far more often than anyone admits. But the good news, the truly wonderful news, is that this is almost completely reversible. When I talk about staying active, it doesn't always mean intercourse. This is about preservation. Regular stimulation, including masturbation, is not just about pleasure. It's a vital health practice. Each time, you are flushing the area with oxygen-rich blood, nourishing the tissues, and maintaining their responsiveness. You're stretching those smooth muscles, keeping them flexible and ready. And if intercourse or solo stimulation isn't possible right now, that's okay. There are other ways. Medically approved vacuum erection devices, or even specific pelvic floor exercises, can significantly boost circulation and maintain tissue health. The most important thing is to reject inactivity. But this goes deeper than just physical function. It touches the core of a man's identity. For many, sexual vitality is tied to their sense of self. As it fades, so does their confidence. By taking this first step, By actively caring for this part of yourself, you're not just improving performance. You are reclaiming your pride. You are reconnecting with the man you still are, a man of wisdom, experience, and value. Robert started with simple exercises. Within a few months, the change was remarkable, not just physically, but in his eyes. The confidence was back. It's a ripple effect. Trust, intimacy, motivation, they are all connected. And I'll never forget what Robert's wife, Linda, told me during a follow-up visit. She said, "It's not just about the intimacy, Dr. Smith. It's the way he looks at me again, like he's still my man, still proud, still alive inside." That single sentence stuck with me for weeks, because when a man takes care of this part of himself, the transformation isn't just physical. It reaches into his relationship, his sense of masculinity, and the emotional bond that so many couples long to keep alive, especially as they grow older together. You see, your health doesn't exist in isolation. When you begin to reclaim it, your partner often heals in their own way, too. Now that we understand the importance of keeping the engine running, let's talk about basic maintenance, something every man thinks he has under control, until it's too late. Tip number 2, true cleanliness, the overlooked ritual of proper hygiene. This may sound obvious, but after 3 decades in practice, I can tell you with absolute certainty, proper hygiene is one of the most neglected yet critical forms of self-care for aging men. I have seen too many good men walk into my clinic with painful infections, chronic irritation, or even more serious conditions, all because no one ever taught them how their body's needs change over time. This isn't about being dirty. It's about being uninformed. Here's what happens as we age. Our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive. Our immune response isn't as rapid as it once was. This means a hygiene routine that was perfectly fine in your 30s or 40s is simply not enough today. For my uncircumcised patients, this is especially crucial. Under the foreskin is a warm, moist environment where bacteria, sweat, and dead skin cells can accumulate. This can lead to a painful infection called balanitis, but it can also be far more serious. What most men don't know is that poor hygiene is the leading cause of a rare but devastating diagnosis, penile cancer. In countries like Brazil, where this has been studied extensively, the link is undeniable. The risk doesn't go away with age, it increases. The solution, thankfully, is simple and empowering. It's a small, daily ritual of self-respect. Here's the simple 3-step method. Step 1. The right tools. Use only warm water and a mild, unscented soap. Harsh, perfumed soaps can strip away natural protective oils and cause irritation. Step 2. The method. If you are uncircumcised, gently retract the foreskin. Wash the area thoroughly but gently. Then rinse completely. Step 3. The critical final step. Drying. This is the step most men miss. Moisture is a breeding ground for bacteria. Pat the area completely dry with a clean towel before dressing. And always, always perform this ritual after any sexual activity. It only takes a minute, but this simple habit can save you from painful infections, odor, and the risk of something much worse. When you start treating this part of your body with the same care you give your teeth or your heart, something shifts emotionally. You feel cleaner, more confident, more in control. It's a small, daily act of self-respect, and it sends a message to yourself that you are still vital, but hygiene is just the start. Let's now talk about a hidden danger that begins during moments of intimacy, when you're not quite ready. Tip number 3. The hidden danger. Avoiding intimacy with a semi-erection. This is a subject that makes many men uncomfortable, but we must discuss it. I have seen the consequences in my clinic too many times. Men unknowingly injuring themselves simply because they were never warned about the risks of proceeding before reaching a full, firm erection. It can feel like a small detail in the heat of the moment. The desire is there, the mood is right, but your body isn't fully prepared. Let me explain what's happening inside. Your penis is a delicate structure of spongy tissues and blood vessels. When it is fully erect, it is rigid and supported, able to withstand the pressures of intercourse. However, when it is only semi-erect, it is vulnerable. Attempting to penetrate in this state can cause what we call microtraumas. These are tiny internal tears that don't cause immediate, sharp pain. You might not even notice them. But over time, as these tiny injuries heal, they form scar tissue. And unlike healthy tissue, this scar tissue is stiff, hard, and inflexible. This buildup of internal scarring can lead to a condition called Peyronie's disease. If you've never heard of it, Peyronie's causes a painful curvature of the penis, sometimes so severe that intercourse becomes difficult, or even impossible. I have sat across from countless older men, their faces filled with shame and confusion, who waited too long to mention the changes they noticed. They had no idea this could even happen. They weren't being reckless. They were simply uninformed. This is why I am telling you now. Slow down. Your long-term health and your confidence depend on treating your body with patience and respect. Waiting until you have a full erection is not only safer, it is smarter. It protects you from years of potential pain and frustration. Use a quality lubricant to reduce friction. Give yourself and your partner the gift of time during foreplay. If you feel pressured, talk to your partner. The risk is never, ever worth it. This isn't about being fragile. It's about being informed and empowered. If you're still with me, and if this information is making sense to you, please let me know by typing a 1 in the comments below. It helps me know we're on the right track, and it lets others know they are not alone in this journey. Thank you. Now, from protecting the body, we must turn to protecting the mind, and a hidden threat to real desire. Tip number 4. Limit pornography. Maximize real connection. I want to speak to you plainly here. Man to man. We live in a world where adult content is available at the click of a button. For many older men, especially those who might be single, widowed, or feeling isolated, it can seem like a harmless outlet. But after working with thousands of patients, I must share a quiet warning. What often begins as an occasional habit can slowly become a substitute for something much deeper, and it can rob you of the real, human connection you were made for. Here is the scientific truth. Excessive pornography consumption physically rewires your brain's response to arousal. The brain becomes trained, even conditioned, to expect a very specific type of stimulation. Fast-paced, highly visual, and solitary. Over time, this can lead to a state of desensitization. Men in their 60s and 70s have described this confusion to me perfectly. They say, "Dr. Smith, I still have the desire, but when I'm with a real partner, my body doesn't respond like it used to. I feel broken." In so many of these cases, the body isn't broken at all. It's a psychological conditioning. The brain's arousal trigger has been recalibrated for the screen, not for the subtle, emotional, and physical cues of a real partner. Furthermore, this habit can create a cycle of shame and isolation, especially when it becomes a secret routine that replaces human intimacy. You begin to question your own masculinity, your ability to connect, your value in a relationship. It's a heavy burden to carry. I am not here to judge or to shame anyone. my advice is simply one of moderation. Use it sparingly, if at all. Instead, I encourage you to focus on rebuilding your natural arousal pathways. Take more time for foreplay. Focus on touch, on scent, on conversation. Allow yourself to feel excitement through imagination and real emotional intimacy, without pressure. Your desire does not die with age. It simply asks for a different kind of attention. Limiting pornography isn't about giving up pleasure. It's about reclaiming it in its healthiest, most meaningful form, where your mind and body are in harmony, ready for a real connection. And speaking of harmony, there is one final pillar that holds everything else together. Tip number 5. Prioritize your lifestyle. Not the pills. If there is one single truth I have learned after decades of treating men over 60, it is this. The way you live your life will always be more powerful than any pill I could ever prescribe. So many men come to my office hoping for a quick fix, a magic bullet to restore what they feel they've lost. But the reality is that no medication on earth can outperform the power of your daily habits. Your lifestyle is the fuel for everything. The connection is biological and direct. Erections are all about healthy blood flow, and healthy blood flow depends entirely on the health of your heart and your blood vessels. When you smoke, when you drink excessively, when you eat a diet high in processed foods, you are actively damaging the delicate lining of those vessels. You're restricting the flow of life, giving blood to every part of your body, including your penis. In fact, erectile dysfunction is often one of the very first warning signs of underlying heart disease. It's your body's early warning system, signaling that something more fundamental needs your attention. But here is the empowering part. Every single healthy choice you make has a direct and positive impact. When you quit smoking, your circulation begins to improve within days. When you limit alcohol, your testosterone levels can rebalance. When you simply start walking for 30 minutes a day, or add more vessel-supporting foods to your plate like leafy greens, berries, and healthy fats, you are not just adding years to your life. You are adding life to your years. Your energy returns. Your mood lifts. Your confidence grows. And slowly, naturally, your function begins to improve. I have seen men completely transform their situation simply by changing their daily routine. They sleep better, they laugh more, they reconnect with the world, and they no longer need to rely on a pill because they have built something far stronger, a foundation of health. And the change that happens, it's not just something they feel. I think of another patient's wife, a lovely woman named Sarah. She pulled me aside one day, and with tears of joy in her eyes, she said, "Dr. Smith, it's not just about the bedroom. It's that he's here again. He laughs at dinner. He wants to go for walks after the sun sets. I feel like I have my husband back, not just a tired man at the end of the day." That is the true power of the choices you make. Before you reach for a prescription, I urge you, reach for your walking shoes. Choose water over whiskey. Prioritize sleep. Connect with the people you love. Your body is listening. And now, for the bonus tip I promised you. It is so simple, yet so surprisingly effective. And it's something you can do tonight while you sleep. Bonus tip. Sleep without underwear. This may sound trivial, almost too simple to matter, but the quietest habits often have the most profound effects. Here's why. Throughout the night, as your body regenerates, men experience several spontaneous, natural erections. This is a normal and crucial part of your body's self-maintenance system, keeping the penile tissues healthy and oxygenated. However, if you wear tight-fitting underwear to bed, you may be unconsciously compressing the penis during these natural cycles. Over months and years, this repeated gentle pressure can contribute to tissue irritation and the formation of the very same internal scar tissue we discussed earlier, the kind that can lead to Peyronie's disease. By simply choosing to sleep naked or in loose-fitting boxers, you give your body the freedom it needs to perform its nightly repairs without restriction. It is a small, simple change, but it is one more way you can take proactive, intelligent control over your long-term health, comfort, and function. When you put all these pieces together, something powerful begins to happen. Reclaiming your dignity. I know that talking about this subject can feel uncomfortable, but the truth is, your relationship with your body doesn't end as you get older. It simply evolves. And how you choose to care for it now matters more than ever. The 5 steps we discussed today. Keeping active, practicing proper hygiene, protecting yourself during intimacy, prioritizing real connection, and building a healthy lifestyle. These are not just medical tips. They are small, consistent acts of self-respect. Each one reinforces your dignity, your vitality, and your connection to the man you are today. It is never too late to begin. Every day offers a new chance to make one small choice that moves you toward regaining control. Your health does not define your worth, but how you care for it reflects how you value yourself. As we come to a close, if this video brought you any value or made you feel understood, please tap the like button. Share it with a friend, a brother, or a father who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe for more honest, empowering conversations about men's health. Taking care of yourself is a sign of strength, never shame. Thank you for your time and for your trust. Let's continue this journey together. And finally, I want to leave you with a gentle reminder. The information in this video is meant to support your well-being, not to replace professional medical advice. If you're taking supplements, following a treatment plan, or managing any health concerns, please speak with your personal doctor before making any changes. Every body is unique, and what helps one person may not be right for another. Thank you sincerely for your time and trust. And one final invitation. If you'd like me to go deeper into any one of these 5 pillars in a future video, please leave a comment below and let us know which one. We are here to serve you, and we are listening.